I have a schedule now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do videos here on Monday, opinion-based. Wednesday, live show. Friday, opinion-based. That's every single week. If I'm not in your soapbox, if I'm not in your notifications, look for me by typing Chris Sanders in any YouTube search page. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hi, everybody. I'm a nice guy. I'm just going to say that. And I know that's kind of a dirty word. And I made a previous video about this, responding to Shoe on Head's video about being nice and nice guys. And I want to just do a slightly different video from that one because I'm kicking off this new series about my opinion. And I really want to share my opinion on the whole nice guy phenomenon without responding to someone else's video. So here we are. I also want to say that, you know, due to a generous, very generous viewer, I have all my videos paid for at least the next 4 months. So I can kind of do what I want here on this channel and not have to care about YouTube or AdSense. It's kind of nice. So I'm going to be a little bit more free here. So if you guys have anything you want to see me do, please let me know down below. I will be taking requests all day. Anyway, let's just dig into this. So, a nice guy, a nice girl, is that a bad thing? The answer to me and to most of you is probably no, it's not bad. But then you have people who are going, well, if you're nice, then you're not alpha. You know, there's these videos out there that are like, nice guys versus alpha guys, and I may do one myself. But I just want to say that you can do both, but you don't need to. In fact, you can get rid of the whole alpha thing. The traditional alpha mindset, I've just kind of, this is how I've come across it at least, are the guys that come in your videos or come in your face and say, wow, pause. But guys who will come to your face and say things like, oh, you know, women, they're always doing this. Or, you can't carry the women, you gotta just take care of yourself. Or it's just this kind of like jerky mindset that lets you know that they were hurt at some point by a woman. And instead of taking a progressive stance on that, they've chosen to instead really instill the idea that you treat women differently than other people. And that is where we have to really draw the line. So you don't want to be a nice guy. You want to be a good person. Being a good person takes the gender out of it. You're not catering towards women. You're catering to the world. And that is where things change. You want to cater to the world, and that includes yourself. If something isn't making you happy, then you probably shouldn't do it. That includes a relationship, that includes a job, that includes anything that's lowering your quality of life. You have to put that as your central focus first. Because if you are unhappy, how are you going to make other people happy? How are you going to help anyone? How are you going to serve yourself if you are still focused on really that core thing? Now, that's not saying you need to be selfish. It's saying you need to get yourself right. The typical quote-unquote nice guy isn't doing that. They're thinking that what they can do is nice their way out of situations when they still are feeling insecure. They are still feeling like less than. They're still feeling like they have nothing to offer. Now for me, this is my personal story, I had to learn that me saying things that I was thinking wasn't not being nice. It was getting myself ahead. I worked a job for about 7 years. And for 7 years, and this is not a joke, they told me they were going to hire me full time. They dangled the carrot like, hey, we're going to hire you one day. Hey, we're going to hire you. And I was so worried about pleasing those people and being considered nice that I was like, you know what? I don't want to leave them and go to another company and then they'll have to try to fill my job and there'll be a hole and I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to just leave them like in a deficit. Meanwhile, I didn't think about the fact that they weren't treating me well. They didn't care about the fact that I didn't have benefits. That means I didn't have health insurance, which means that if something bad happened to me, I would not be taken care of. That is not right. And as a good person, I understand that. So I left that company. I finally figured out, you know what I gotta do for me. And I left the company. And you know what? They did have a deficit. They weren't able to really fill my role, but they figured it out. The world moved on. I was married, if you guys don't know that. And it was hard for me because I was a nice guy in my marriage. And I went out of my way to try to change who I was when she didn't accept me. But it came to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm not happy doing this. I'm not happy not being myself. And for that and other reasons, I had to leave that marriage. And immediately after, I found myself in a place of pure happiness. I started doing more YouTube. I started digging more into you guys. I started really exploring more and more of the things that made me happy, like conventions and video games and nerding out. And now I'm in a place where I feel whole. I have other interests as well, but I was able to really sink into the things that she was pushing me away from. I think ultimately you need to find the things that make you happy and focus on those, and then it's easier for you to reach out and become who you are meant to be. You don't need to be an alpha male. Being an alpha male means, you take charge and you're the leader. Not everyone's the leader. Not everyone can be the leader. Structure doesn't work that way. We can't all be leading. And even the idea that you need to become an alpha male to attract females is completely asinine, because it means that all females in that mindset are all one thing and they all only want one thing. Like a line of robots, like must have brains, must have money, must have large penile fingeries, Women are not all one thing, just like men aren't all one thing. All men don't want one kind of girl. I know for me, I don't. I mean, I like big butts, and I cannot lie, I like a nerd girl. I like a smart girl. I like a strong girl who has strong opinions. I want someone who's going to be silly and fun and all these other attributes that aren't just an atypical set of explanations as to who people can be. They're varied. I can meet a really hot girl tomorrow. That does not mean I want to be with her. Also, what are your priorities? What do you actually want to do? Do you want to bang hot chicks? Do you want to get married? Do you want to date? What is your actual goal? I know for me, I always was the guy who wanted to get married or have a girlfriend. That's what I wanted. I wasn't into banging hot chicks. So it didn't really matter to me that those girls didn't want me. And there was a point where no girl wanted me. And the occasional girl, 1 or 2 every 3 years. But for the most part, girls weren't really into me. But that's also because I wasn't into myself. Those are my days when I would walk around with my head down, with no self-confidence, no self-pride, no way of emoting that I cared about these other things that were central to my core personality. When I reached the day when I was like, you know what? I love Pokemon, and I'm going to say that to everybody that I meet. That was one of the days where I found out who I was. That was me breaking the chains of being alpha and stepping away from, or even just seeking alpha. Because I didn't know for a while, I was like, I got to become an alpha male, got to become that guy. And that's not who I was naturally. I had to break those chains and walk into just being a good person, just being Chris. If you are the guy that the girls call to talk to about their problems and their feelings and other guys that aren't you, do not hate that. I am that guy. I am that guy for a lot of women, and I guarantee they will all tell you that. But guess what? That is an opportunity to learn. That's a chance to learn what women want. It's a chance to learn how women think. That's a chance to learn how to communicate with girls. I did that, and believe it or not, it helped me to meet other girls later. Because guess what? Girls trust other girls. Those same girls would tell their friends when they came in town, hey, meet my friend Chris. He's so nice. Hey, meet my friend Chris. He's a good guy. Hey, meet my friend Chris. Endorsements, man. Endorsements. While those particular girls do not want to be with you, it doesn't matter, because you still had other opportunities. And at the end of the day, you have to try to qualify them, not qualify yourself. Are they someone that you want? Are they someone that makes you happy? Are they interesting to you? It's a two-way street. You don't need to be an alpha male to understand that. You don't need to be the guy that says rude things to people. You just need to understand what makes you happy and chase those things. You need to chase those things wholeheartedly. Again, you don't need to be the nice guy. You need to be a good person. And that resonates throughout. If you are walking through a door and you see a guy who's also walking slowly, hold the door open for the other guy. Doesn't mean anything. You're not gay because you held a door open for another guy. You're just being nice. And you don't care if he says thank you or not. You just did to help out another person on another day. That is where you drive your happiness from. I know for me, that's how it works. I am happy because I helped another human being. And I mean, because of that, I think people find me to be likable. People want to hang out with me. People call me all the time. I have a great big network of social opportunities because I make sure that I am fun and I am interesting above all. And I'm also a good person. But it's kind of funny because you also have your friends who are bad people who still have friends. How does that happen? It's a bigger story that I even want to get into. But the thing is that even at that core place, people are looking for people they can relate to. And even if you're a bad person, people still want to relate to you. And that should be your core idea at the end of the day. You can totally reject all this stuff about being the alpha male and the big man on campus and just be someone that you're happy being. People will gravitate and come towards you as you become better with yourself. It's a core concept that people really ignore, but it's real. You don't need to be a jerk. You don't need to be rude. But you do need to learn how to love you. There's nothing beta about being a good person and catering to a woman. It's not. But that means you also are catering to someone outside of yourself before you learn to love yourself. And once you do that, everything will flow naturally. Everybody's different. So find out what makes you different and embrace that. And then only will you find out what it means to not just be a nice guy, not be alpha, but to be a person. Now, I'm going to be working on another video coming up here on Monday because I do videos here 3 times a week. That's Monday, that's Wednesday for live shows, and that's Friday for another video, which could help, you could not, who knows. Please come back here, and thank you very much for your time. Let me know your thoughts on today's topic, on what it means to be a nice guy versus an alpha guy versus a beta guy versus all the other kind of guys. I would love your opinion. Let's talk about it down below. My name is Chris, and check out my other videos. It will mean the world to me. Have a great day, and Albert, use teleport.